Hello, welcome back to the Equity Investment course. My name is Peter Akinola and I'm so excited to welcome you back. In this short video, I'll be talking about 10 money paradigm that must shift. I will be helping you shift those paradigms in this short video. So let's get started. But before we get into those paradigm one by one, why do we have to shift paradigm? Why does paradigm shift matters? Now, the real wealth in its sense is built in the mind. Before the money can multiply, before the bank can be filled, before things can become huge, and then you have properties and every appearance of wealth around you, it starts and must first start in your thinking. So it is important, very important, that we start with building wealth upstairs, building wealth mentally before it materialize physically. So your belief about money, shape your financial decision. It really does not matter how much you earn, if your beliefs do not align with prosperity and wealth, it's just a matter of time. The big money is going to come down to the level of your belief. Your habit is going to shape your financial destiny, and it's going to determine, regardless of what you say, what you tell other people, and what you tell yourself. Your habit is what will judge what is going to happen. Your habit will be the determinant, which is also almost always fueled by your belief. So we need to shift your money mindset. You need to shift your money mindset, because that is the first step towards your financial freedom and wealth building. Let's start with number one. It says that I work for money or money work for me. Now, at different points in our life, we'll all have to start at the point. Most of us have to start at the point where we work for money, we work for survival. If we don't work, that is what I mean work. I mean exchanging our time, our skill set for money. You have a job, you have a skill set, you have whatever it is that you are starting at, it is okay to start there, but then it is even okay to stay there. But as you are there, you need to start thinking of how your money will work for you. So we need to shift your paradigm from I work for money to the paradigm of my money work for me. It is very important, because there's a limit to what your mind, to what your time, to what your skill sets can give you over time. And then I hope you know that as you grow older, your strength will keep diminishing. Your organization, we always get somebody that is better than you, no matter who you are. Even if you are the best, even if you are the one that invented the skill set or the software or the tool you are using to work today, somebody else will come younger, faster, better, that will be able to deliver more value to the organization, to the industry, to your clients, and whatever. So it is important. Strength will diminish. Time cannot be multiplied, but money can multiply. Money can multiply. So you cannot have 48 hours to work in a day, but you can make your money work as long as possible. And then as more money you have, you can have more money working for you. So it is important that you know that you start thinking, even if you are currently at a point where you work for money, it is important you start thinking of how your money will work for you. And that's one of the reasons, that's one of the foundational thinking and mental position that necessitates the habit of constant and consistent investing. It is important. It is important you do that. So next one, we need to start thinking, changing spending as enjoyment to spending as choice. You need to choose why and what you spend. So the consumer culture link happiness to buying. So if every time you're happy, every time you are lively is when you spend money, is where you buy things. I mean, regardless of if they are needs or they are wants, is when you buy new gadgets, when you buy new clothes and all of that. But then real financial power comes when spending is aligned with purpose. So why am I spending? What am I spending? The clothes am I buying? Why am I buying them? Do I really need them? Can they wait? The point is this: we are all going to, if we do things well, we are all going to get to a point where we can indulge ourselves in some spending for happiness, in some spending for spending's sake, but not at this point. You need to secure your future at this point. You need to save the future you. You need to sort the survival of your future self, because now what we are talking about now is your survival in the next few years. So not even luxury, not even enjoy the best things of life. We're even talking about how would you survive when you no longer can work? How would you survive and thrive when you no longer have the competitive edge you currently have in your skill set, in your line of work and all of that? Would you have built enough investment, money working for you to be able to live the kind of lifestyle you live today by then? So it is important that we spend in a way that is aligned with purpose, so that you don't live all your best life in the past. So even though I'm not saying you should deny yourself, but then choose what matter most. Move from impulsive buying to intentionally spending to create wealth, to intentionally spending with alignment with purpose. So the next one says savings is enough, and then we need to move from saving is enough to investing is essential. Today, if you have been consistently saving, you have done a good job. You need to be applauded. You are doing so well already. But then, in Nigeria today, and even globally, whichever country you are watching from, but I'm going to use Nigeria typically. In Nigeria today, that inflation is around 23.7%. You cannot just keep your money without the money earning extra income on it, because it simply means that what your 1 million naira will buy today, in the next few days, you will need 1.2 million to buy it. So what is the essence, of saving without the saving really working for you? And that's why, and I know some people, the reason they are not investing is they say that my saving is safe, but I cannot guarantee my investment is that safe. And then every time I hear words like that, I judge it as lack of proper knowledge, because there are investments that are as safe as your savings. So but they will still earn you good money. Some that is able to hedge against inflation, some not able to hedge against inflation, but you are earning. The goal is not to leave your money idle in the bank account. Either it is money you are saving for short term, long term, or future investment, future whatever it is you want to do with it, maybe retirement. The idea is to make sure that you are putting this money to work. So saving is the foundation, but it is not enough. Inflation will hit out your money. If you keep it, resting in the bank. Investing is one of the ways we beat inflation. And then now the idea now is to make sure that as you are saving, you are building freedom, you are building safety, but then with investing, you build freedom. So all I'm saying in this video, this afternoon, this morning, whichever time you are watching, is the fact that don't just save, please invest. Don't just save, please invest. Today, they are now the barrier to entry of many of the investment vehicles we have today have now been lowered, such that you can convert the same amount you save. They can go directly into investment without having to wait in a bank account and save it. So let's go to the next one. The next one says, I can't afford it. It's a mindset. And the mindset we want to shift that into is, how can I afford it? So instead of zeroing in and saying, I can't afford this, I can't afford that, can you begin to ask yourself, how do I afford this? How do I afford this amount? How do I do this? How do I do that? So it is important that when you start asking the question how, then you start looking for the how. Now, naturally, everything that you don't even pay attention to before begin to grab your attention, because you are asking the right question. Once you say you can't, your brain shut down and it's not looking for a solution. But once you start asking, how can I do this? How can I learn this? How can I master these skills? How can I be better in this area? How can I afford this investment, this vehicle, this real estate, whatever it is? Even if it is totally out of your league, it's just a matter of time. There will be a way things will fall in line such that you are able to start the idea, even if it's going to take years and decades, but you are going to find a way to get into it. So it is important that you change, your mindset from conclusion on everything to giving yourself the chance to even ruminate of the possible way things can be done. So the mindset shift opens door. I can't shut down your brain. How can I activate creativity and problem solving? It is not about ignoring reality. It is about looking for leverage, solution, or stepping stone. So see every obstacle as a growth prompt. So let's go to the next one. The fifth one says, debt is bad. Has been the thought and the mindset of a lot of people. And the new paradigm shift that I want you to start thinking or to have is, debt is a tool. So we need to really spend a few more minutes on this debt. Debt is like a fire. It is dangerous if you misuse it, but it is powerful if it is controlled. When you borrow, to consume, to do things that is not going to add value in terms of cash flow or anything like that, it is debt. You are borrowing. It is bad, utterly bad. But then when you buy to build wealth, when you buy to invest, when you buy to educate yourself, which is, by the way, the best investment, when you buy to expand your business, that is good debt. That is good. We can go a little bit technical and start looking at the cost of borrowing compared to the return on the investment. But that's not even we're not going into that in this particular discussion. Later we might get into that. And then you'll be borrowing from your future to pay them off. But when you buy to build wealth, when you borrow, so to say, to expand your business, to educate yourself, that's when you are using debt as a tool. I don't know if you heard about this before, OPM, other people's money. There's even a book on that, OPM. Most of the big businesses that we have in the world today, a good number of them, even all of them, have at some point or the other to bring in other people's money to be able to build that big business that we know today. And then if you look at it as well, critically speaking, if you look at it, most of the people that we have, first 100, first 10 richest people in the world, they are also one of the people with highest debt portfolio as well. So debt is not bad in itself. It is what you use the debt for, what you use the debt to finance that really matters. And this discussion is a very touchy discussion, especially among the people of faith, because they hold on to the fact that I shall not borrow, I shall learn to relation and all of that. But then we need to holistically look at this thing. what is debt, which one is a leverage, which one is debt, so to say. Because if you are doing a small business and then $1,000 is giving you 20% return on investment, if you increase that to $10,000, you've automatically increased your return on investment. Why would you not want to get that leverage to expand the business? So it is just what it is. That debt is not good, debt is not bad. It is what you use the debt to finance that determine if it's a debt or it's a leverage, if it is bad or it is a tool. So let's get to the next one. Habits. Let's talk about more income will solve my problem, or better money habits. Now, most people believe that all I need is more income. All I need is promotion at work. All I need is expansion in my business. All I need is whatever it is that you say. I agree with you, but let me bet it with you as well that if you have that higher income, let your income even 10x. If you do not fix your money habits, you are still going to be back to where you are in terms of your finances, if not worse. Now, because there have been case studies of people that came into money suddenly, either by inheritance or by playing winning lottery and all of that, came into strange big wealth suddenly. And then in just a few years, they were back to where they were before the money came, or even deeper. They were worse than where they were. It sounds unimaginable, but it happened. In fact, the good book says that as money increase, they increase also that eat it. Meaning that as your income increases, your expense automatically increase with it. It is called Parkinson law in finance. It will literally increase as well. And then so let's say you got promoted at work, 30% was added to your salary, and you are all joy. In fact, you are so excited. You are thinking, how can I can't exhaust this money. It is just too much. I give you just 3 months. You'll be asking yourself, this money is not enough again. It's just what it is. So we have to be intentional about your money habits. You have to be intentional about fixing your budgeting. You have to be intentional about making sure a good percentage of your money is saved and secure and invested month to month, and every other thing that has to do with your habit in the specific terms now. The next paradigm that must shift is this paradigm that says, I need to know everything before I start. Now, we all know that is a setup for you never to start. The important thing is for you to start small and learn as you go. In fact, if you do not start, you won't have enough motivation to learn. Because when you have your money in the market and you see market do one thing or the other, you want to check, how do I understand this? What is the meaning of what just happened? What is the meaning of interest rates has changed? What is the meaning of NPR? How does that affect me? And by so doing, you are motivated to learn. You are motivated to know exactly what is happening. What does it mean that this thing has happened? How does it affect currency? How does it affect currency fluctuation? What is the rate? And how does all of those things affect it? You want to know, not because anybody is forcing you to know, but now it concerns you. It concerns your investment. You want to know the impact of every decision, of every action, of every economic policy. It is now interesting for you to know. And that's why you have to start. Waiting for perfection creates paralysis. You're just going to enter into analysis to paralysis, waiting for the right time, which is always an illusion anyway. Always an illusion when you are waiting for the perfect time to start something. Some people say, I want to be able to get to a point where I'm earning more before I start investing. If you cannot invest with small, you cannot invest with much. That you need to know. So it is important that you tell yourself that you are not waiting for anything. You are not waiting for more knowledge. You are not waiting for more money. You are not waiting for any other thing. You are starting now. So once you finish this course and you know the exact action to take, in fact, you don't have to wait till you finish. Once you get to a particular instrument that catches your interest and you know exactly how to get it done, take a bit of money and put it in the market. That is how to start. So let's go to the next, let's get to the next paradigm. The next one is financial success is luck, and I hear this a lot, that this guy was just lucky. It is just his father's money. It is this and that and that, and then you need to get out of that paradigm and get into the paradigm that financial success is learned. The truth is, everybody has a form of leverage. Some have financial leverage from their family, some have pedigree, some have name, and different things. I mean, so there are different leverage that the family or the people that you came out of gave you at one point or the other. But one very particular thing about financial success is it is not genetical. You cannot marry and be financially free. It might look like you are financially okay because you married into wealth, but then only time will tell. You cannot be financially successful because your father is financially successful. At some point, there will be a demarcation between your father's money and your money. So I'm saying that your father's money can keep you surviving. You might be able to afford basic things that your colleagues might not be able to afford because they have a different father or the different background. But the only time will tell. Only time will tell. The best thing is to build with the leverage that you've been dealt with in life. If the leverage you were given in life is a stack of cash, is coming from wealth, it is important. You need financial knowledge. You need everything needed to be able to build on that and sustain that wealth and even grow it further. If what you have been given is name or a knowledge base, it is important that you build from that as well. So financial success is not by luck, it's not by inheritance, it's not by marriage or any other thing. It is by knowledge. You have to learn your way through it. You have to learn and do and earn, and then the cycles continue like that. Over time, knowledge wins. Most wealthy people didn't just tumble into riches. They studied, strategized, and stayed consistent. In fact, if you look at the list of wealthy people on earth today, a huge chunk of them, they were not inheritance. It's only a fraction of them that were inheritance. A good part of, like 80% of it, were freshly built, freshly minted billionaires. So it says a lot about what financial success learned over the years can do compared to what the ones that was inherited. Because even the ones that were inherited, those people had to add to it. They had to build on it before they can even be on that list. So, someone like Warren Buffett started reading investing books since 11. So it is important. He started learning and practicing as early as possible. And you should too, regardless of your age or your stage in life, you need to start learning. You need to start reading books. You need to start listening to podcasts. You need to get a mentor, attend workshop, free and paid. You need to, as many places and through many mediums you can get yourself learning. You need to, regardless of how busy you are. If you are committed to it, you will find a way. If you are busy, your job is busy, it doesn't really matter. If you drive you can turn your car into an institution. If you don't, you can turn your phone, plug your earpiece and then start learning. Whatever it is, they said that if you want something, you will find a way. If you don't want to do it, you find an excuse. So we need to set this here and now that you will be committed to listen to financial podcasts. In fact, it starts with auditing your social media thread. You need to start timeline. You need to unfollow the people that are not adding to your knowledge, that are distracting you, and you need to start following people that will teach you finances, that will make your financial success faster. So you need to look for all of them and start following them. Start with following Peter Akinola, and then you look for other people that are able to teach you, are able to create different content on how you can get better in your finances. It makes your way, it makes your journey, to financial success faster, easier. The next paradigm I want us to shift is the paradigm that says the government or the job will take care of me. Now, the truth is, you are responsible for your future, and I am responsible for my future. So, it is important that you take responsibility for your future right from now. So, relying solely on pension or your employer is a very risky game, that does not work out well for many people. So, system changes, job disappear, things get, unexpectedly bad or good or wrong, but when you take ownership of your future, you become the architect of your own freedom, from dependency to self-reliance. So, setting up a retirement fund, retirement account, multiple income streams, investing in different streams to make sure that your retirement and things you've always wanted to do can be done with or without promotion, with or without increment from your job or from your business. You are responsible for yourself. You are responsible for your future and that of your family. And whatever it's going to deliver, the future you have envisioned or seen, you should be the one driving it, not putting the responsibility on your job, not putting the responsibility on the government or any other institution around you. Okay, so the last paradigm I want us to shift is the paradigm that says money is evil. Now, money is not evil, and then for the people of faith, we are quick to quote the love of money is the root of all evil. Now, if you check that very well, it even says the love of money, not even money itself. Money takes the personality of its owner. So money only magnify who you are already. So if you are generous, you are going to be more generous with money. If you are creative, you are going to be more creative with money. If you are a reckless spender, you are going to be more reckless with money. So money is, a good servant, but can be a terrible master if you allow it. So it is important to know that money is not evil. It is how we direct it. It is the money that you have no plan for that tends to change your behavior, that tends to change your character. I've had people say over time that since this person has this money, he has changed, he has done. I mean, I've even seen people say that I never knew I could be this, I could be that until I made this much money. The truth is, whatever money you call a breakthrough in your life today is still somebody's bank transaction. Now, when Elon Musk bought, Twitter and later turned into X, the transaction charges is around $10 million. Now, for some people, $1 million is a breakthrough. Now, to now talk about $10 million is a huge one. And then while you are celebrating $10 million, it is a transaction fee from someone's transaction. So it is important that we know that what you call breakthrough is determined by the size of your vision. There's a kind of money that comes into your hand that you have no plan for, and it messes you up, it turns you to something else because you have no plan for it. And there's another money that comes into your hand that there's a vision on ground, there are dreams on ground. Those money just go into executing those visions. So it is important that we establish that money is not evil. And so having more of it is not going to make you evil. So money is just a tool that you can use to make life better or to make life worse. So money itself does not have any personality. It takes the personality of the owner. So I believe I've been able, to shatter some paradigm. I've been able to help you shift some paradigm so that you can upgrade your mind or unlock your wealth potential. I believe you've learned so much in this video already. See you in the next one.